Good morning, I'm Maurice and I've got another Monday morning meditation for you. I trust you had a great weekend and you're ready to passionately serve God for another week. I want to talk this morning about the One World Church. Most Christians realise we're moving towards a one world government. In fact, I think most of the world realise it's inevitable. But that means we'll get a one world church. You can't have one without the other. So what religion will be the one world church? Well, the ecumenical movement has been gathering momentum for a long time. I did some checks on the internet and here's some quotes. One understanding is the ecumenical movement came from the Roman Catholic Church's attempt to reconcile with Christians who have become separated over theological issues. And another one, others see 1910, the beginning of the World Missionary Conference, as the birthplace of the ecumenical movement. Well, they're both true actually, because the Jesuits have been working for a long time to create the One World Church. What's the purpose of the ecumenical movement? Here's another good quote. I just took it off the website yesterday. Struggling for the unity of the church, the ecumenical movement is also struggling for the unity of mankind, for the establishment of criteria as well as of bridges which will facilitate, this is the key, the creation of human community in all senses of the world. A one world community. Interesting. Well, what religion will it be? Will it be Islam? Will they take over the world? Will it be Hindu? What sort of religion will it be? Well, I believe it'll be Christian. Maybe not as we know it, but it will be called Christianity. Certainly in the beginning, the Bible doesn't talk about anti-Hindu or anti-Allah or anti-Molech, anti-Astaroth. It talks about anti-Christ. And so I believe that the Antichrist will obviously represent Christianity, but not as we know it. You know, the popes are Antichrist. Historians throughout history have believed that, great preachers. Let me quote some of them. Martin Luther, he believed the popes were Antichrist. John Wesley, Bishop J.C. Ryle. And in our modern time, in my history, people like Spurgeon and Dr. Martin Lloyd-Jones, they believe the Pope were Antichrist. It's only this last generation or two that have actually switched to accept Catholicism as being Christian instead of the religion of Babylon. Kenneth Copeland, that great Pentecostal charismatic teacher, has embraced the Catholic Church. The Lutherans have signed an agreement on the 500th year anniversary of the Reformation to go back to the Mother Church, and the Methodists and the Anglican community have also signed an agreement. So we're well on the way to the One World Church. Charismatics, Pentecostals, they're also rushing back, and many mainline Pentecostal denominations don't realise that the change of doctrines have been instigated by the Jesuits. They're actually Jesuit doctrines such as the love gospel and self-esteem, all these things that have crept into the church. Let me read you the Westminster Confession of Faith, 1647. There is no other head of the church but the Lord Jesus Christ, nor can the Pope of Rome in any sense be head thereof, but is that Antichrist, that man of sin and son of perdition, that exalteth himself in the church against Christ and all that is called God. Billy Graham called the Pope the greatest living person for moral reformation in the last 100 years. He was part of the ecumenical movement, Billy Graham. It was a Jesuit puppet. People don't know that, but this one world religion will end up worshipping Lucifer, and I believe it's not far away. Something for you to think about. God's people thought they worshipped God, but they were dancing round a golden calf. It can happen again. Be careful. Something for you to think about anyway this week. Have a wonderful week and successful, prosperous, fruitful. See you next vlog.